Hi, and welcome to the In-Depth Genealogist Chit Chat Live. I'm your host, Valerie Eichler Lair, and today I'm so excited to be interviewing two of my favorite Canadians. And the topic is so fun. It's on the Great Canadian Genealogy Summit, the CanGen. And these two lovely ladies are the experts and the go-to people and the ones about CanGen. So I want to introduce most of everybody that watches IDG Chit Chat knows her as a regular panelist. She's from Ontario, Canada, and it is Christine Woodcock. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Val. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Awesome. And I'd like to introduce your partner. I know her, but she's going to be new to quite a few people. And it is Kathryn Lake Hogan, also of Ontario, Canada. Welcome to the show, Kathryn.
Hey, greetings, Val. Greetings, everybody.
Hey.
Good to have you. And where in Ontario are you your office or where you live or call home?
I am a border city girl. I live in Windsor. And for those of you who don't know where that is right across the river from Detroit, Michigan.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. How come I didn't know that? It's like, oh, good. Next time I go there, we'll just pop on over.
No problem. We'll grab a Tim's. We'll have a Timmy's.
Great. Great. Well, as I mentioned, we are going to be chatting about the Great Canadian Genealogy Summit, which is going to be on October 13th through the 15th of 2017. Christine, could you lead us into the introduction? How did CanGen get started? Where has it been held? Is it held in the same area every year? So therefore, how long has it been going on? And then get into the specifics about this year's summit and registration information.
Sure, be happy to. So Kathryn and I are actually the founders of the Great Canadian Genealogy Summit. And are we okay?
Yes, I'm sorry. I almost hit the wrong button there.
Oops.
Did you see me? Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, let's start over again. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, that's okay. So Kathryn and I are actually the founders of the Great Canadian Genealogy Summit. Kathryn and I were chatting, and we came to the realization that there aren't a whole lot of Canadian genealogists located in Canada who are well known as speakers. And part of that is they just never get picked to be speakers in Canada. And so we have, like you do, you have, all the states will have a genealogy conference, all our provinces do. And we've never had a national conference before. A couple of people tried it a couple of years ago, but they wanted like $1,000. They were used to trade shows, right? So, and we're like, yeah, this is like nonprofit societies. Nobody's coming. Anyway, so Kathryn and I decided, what we really need to do is we need to be able to have a platform where we can showcase the talents of the Canadian genealogists. So we put out a call for speakers, and really the only requirement is that they're Canadian. And that they, have some speaking background. They're when we put out the call for papers, it's it's a standard. You can't have done it at a national conference or sort of recently. You could have done it, but not recently. So last year was our inaugural year. We did it in Ontario because we're both from Ontario. We did it out near the airport, so people had it was easy to get to, and it was really kind of different. It was very, it's because it's just starting, right? It's not like huge numbers of thousands of people, very intimate, and people loved that because they really got to know each other. So I remember, we have people who were saying, this has been fantastic because usually I get to a conference and I see somebody, and then the next time I think about seeing them, the conference is over. Or I see them as I'm running in the hall from one thing to the next. Whereas here, I've actually had a chance to sit with them, to chat with them, to socialize with them, to network, to put research together, and so that wound up sort of being one of our key focuses for when we were putting the program together this year, is really building in that time for people to be able to network and to connect together. So we decided we were going to take it on the road. Since it's a national conference, it shouldn't just be in Ontario. And this year we are thrilled to be in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And Halifax, the port of Halifax is our Ellis Island. So that's where a lot of our early immigrants came in. They came in through what's called now Pier 21. And so we have, somebody from Pier 21 is going to come and be our, do the opening address and explain about the whole immigrant experience from what our early ancestors experienced. We have an expo hall with some vendors in there, and we're allowing some of them to do mini presentations so that they get, to have some input and some excitement as well, and people can really sort of then understand what it is that they're doing. So we're really excited about it. It's at the Lord Nelson Hotel, which is a very historic hotel in downtown Halifax. And we have a day. So the first day is the 13th. We don't actually start till sort of the evening, but that day, and we did this again last year as well, we have the day set aside for people to go and research locally in the archives, in the provincial archives. And again, with them coming in through the Port of Ellis Island, a lot of the immigration stuff is there. And then Kathryn is also doing a workshop that morning for anybody who has loyalist ancestry. So that's a lineage society like the DAR, and you need to make an application, and Kathryn will do a workshop to help people understand what documents they need, what information from that document, and then we'll go with them to the archives, we'll go with them to the archives and be with them when they pull those records.
Kathryn is getting special cheers. Somebody really likes her. Well, that's great, Christine. I love how you have these kind of things where you have the special day at the archives and the exciting having it in Halifax. That's like your Ellis Island, and having someone that's from Pier 21 be there to come in. So that's really good. And then now that's part, is that included in the people's registration? You're mute, sweetie.
Oh, she's
muted. Sorry. So the whole time that I've been yelling at the dogs, you've been hearing me?
No. Just one time.
Good job I wasn't yelling at my kids.
Just one time. I ignored it. I thought you were telling me to shut up.
So it's an option that they can sign up for. I mean, some people won't have any records to pull there, and so it won't be worth it to them. They might go and do something else. The workshop, because it's specialist and it's hands-on, there's a fee for that in addition to the registration. But to get to the archives is absolutely free. If they go on their own, they find their own way there, pay their own parking, or they can sign up to come on the bus with us.
And so then about the registration, there's a full conference registration, or
there is a full conference registration. So for the whole Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we finish up about 1 o'clock, and that allows you into the expo hall as well to watch the mini presentations. In there is 189 Canadian, which works out to about maybe 170 or so US.
I'm going to chime in here. That's our early bird price. The regular price is $229.
Right.
So
also
the early bird price
is food.
When does early bird registration cut off?
August 31st.
31st? Okay. So we're going to have this chat online tomorrow. So there'll be plenty of time before. So guys, people, ladies, gentlemen, kids, you only have until August 31st to get that early bird registration. And so
the early bird, all the registration generally for the weekend, or whether if it's for the day, for just Saturday, it's $149 is the early bird price, but that includes meals. So that includes your breakfast, lunch, and supper. So you're not having to pay those extra in addition to your registration. That's already included. And we will be putting out a press release in the next couple of days that we will be having maybe a sale coming up soon, just ahead of the early bird special ending. So watch for that as well.
Okay, great. Super. The next thing I'd like to know and have our listeners know is about the speakers and the topics. And I love how you feature Canadian speakers, because like you said, there's very few places where they can go or they're able to go, and this way it features them, and that's really, really a nice idea. So Kathryn, tell us about the speakers, the topics, and general information or even specifics about that.
Sure thing. So we have 12 Canadian speakers that are going to be speaking at the CanGen Summit, and they range from different places in Canada. So from as far west as Winnipeg, Manitoba, to even local speakers that are from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then all places in between. We broke up the summit into topics. So we start with the Loyalist workshop on the Friday, and that's going to be with me. And I am the past Dominion Genealogist of the United Empire Loyalist Association of Canada. So you get 2 hours with me talking about your Loyalist ancestor, how to prove your Loyalist ancestor, what to look for, hands-on information about where to find resources. And then I go into and discuss a bit about the certificate application for the UELAC, which is an historic society with a lineage component to it. And then I tell people what to look for, what the Dominion Genealogist looks for, and give them tips to get a successful certificate application so they can get their Loyalist certificate. Then on the Friday night, like Chris mentioned, we have Jan Raska from Pier 21, and he's going to be talking about the immigration experience, and we're pretty excited about that. I personally am. My grandfather, actually both grandfathers, came through Pier 21 to Canada, so I can't wait to go and visit, and also to hear what Jan has to say. Further to immigration, we also have a fairly new speaker. She has just graduated from the National Institute for Genealogical Studies, and that is Cheryl Martin Levy. And she is going to be talking about immigration, and her topic's called Taking Root in a New Land. So we do give opportunity to new speakers at our summit, to get their feet wet. So we're really excited about having Cheryl with us. And then DNA. DNA is hot. Now, I know in the U.S., you all know, there's my A, because you want that.
I know how to spell it.
You know who the American experts are when it comes to DNA. But guess what? We have an expert of our own. His name is Louis Kessler. He's from Manitoba. And Louis was the 3rd place winner of the Innovator Showdown at Roots Tech this year in Salt Lake City. And he is the only Canadian that ever submitted to the Innovator Showdown, to the Innovator Summit at Roots Tech. And he came in 3rd. So we're pretty geeked out that he won. And Louis is going to be teaching 3 sessions. Now, one's a repeat, so it gives people an opportunity to attend this one particular presentation that he's doing on DNA. And then he's also, that's a general introduction, beginner DNA, which is like me, and I think I might be attending both times. And then he's also going to be doing a more advanced DNA presentation as well. Okay, moving on. We're getting on into some specific topics for that area of Canada. So we're pretty thrilled to have Dr. Isaac Singh of Dalhousie University coming to speak to us on Black Canadians and Black Loyalists. And so he's doing a presentation called Striving for Freedom. That one is a definite, I've got to be there. I got to see this. And then we also have local genealogist Betty Dobson, and she's going to be talking about the forgotten loyalists of Guisborough County. Then we move on to Acadians. Now, Acadians are a specific group of French Canadians that lived in the Maritime provinces, and they were expelled from that area between 1755 and 1758 by the British. And so we have Georges Arsenault.
I remember because I started in the AOL genealogy forum, and I was fascinated with Acadians. I was so mad that I didn't have that. So it's great that you have that at the CanGen.
Right. So the person we have speaking about Acadian genealogy is the 2016 recipient of the Order in Canada, and his name is Georges Arsenault. So we're pretty thrilled to have Georges with us. And then we also have Dr. Patricia Robert Pichette, and she is going to be talking about the British home children. And in particular, she's going to be talking about the British home children that settled in the Maritime provinces, and also about the middle, I'll make sure I got that right. I think it's, let me scroll here. I might look at my topics here. I think it's the Middlemore homes. Yes, Middlemore homes that she's going to be talking about. So if you have an interest in British home children, or if you had an ancestor or a relative that were in those particular homes, then she's going to be talking about that. Let's see, what else do we have? We have more about loyalists. We talked about the Guisborough loyalists. And then we also have Brian Laurie Beaumont. And this is interesting because Brian and his wife were actual attendees last year at CanGen Summit. And now Brian has put in and was accepted for the call for papers. And so he's going to be talking about New England planters and loyalists. And that is, if you don't know about the New England planters, that's a pretty specific group that came out of New England and settled in the Maritime provinces. So he's going to be speaking about that. And we also have Megs Galden, and she's going to be talking about an African-Canadian family history mystery. Now, she's using traditional methods. She's using forensic genealogy. She's using DNA. And she's, just intuition as well to solve a African-Canadian, I'm pretty sure it's adoption mystery. And so she's going to be talking about how she did it all and was able to find the family. So definitely interesting. I know. Ooh, definitely, right? I know. And I'm looking at her schedule here, Val, and I'm like, it's going to be really hard to choose. We've teamed it up. So we have 2 concurrent sessions running all day long. And then, to top it all off, okay, so we got the Acadian, we got the British home children, we've got DNA, we've got African Canadian, we've got loyalists. But how can you not have a CanGen Summit in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is Latin for New Scotland, without our very own Christine Woodcock talking about Scottish genealogy? And so she is going to be presenting 2 topics. The first one's called From the Highlands and Islands to Canada. And then she's going to be talking also about military men, Covenanters, that's a mouthful, Covenanters and Jacobites, historic events that led to mass emigration. And so if you have Scottish ancestry, you know. Val, we know. Christine's our person. Christine is our person.
I know. She is. She is.
And then let's see. And then
I wish she knew just a little bit about it.
I know, right? I have to read up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on Sunday for half day, we also have 3 concurrent sessions. So that's six sessions going on Sunday. So you can choose 3 out of the 6 to attend, unless you can clone yourself. And we have another speaker that's new to speaking, at least I think at the national level and out east. And his name's Jim Benedict. And Jim's going to be talking about a discovery he made in a barn on a dark and stormy night, and the treasures that he found, genealogy, family history treasures, and then what did he do with it? What do you do when you find all that information? And then he's going to talk to us about how he organized it, what he did with it, and the successes he's had with that information. So this is So just to kind of recap everything, these are our topics: Acadian, Black Canadian and Black Loyalist, British home children, DNA, Loyalist and the New England planters, Scottish, and then just general genealogy sessions as well.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps. That's awesome.
Now, Jim,
my first question is, since I can't be there,
why not? You gotta come.
I know, really, I do. But is it the typical question I know I'll get, and you probably get too, is any of this being live streamed or recorded?
We are actually in negotiations about having some of the sessions live streamed. We just haven't got the final stuff nailed down yet, but hopefully that will happen. So just a couple of things out of what Kathryn said, because honestly, just listening to that, I can't wait to go to the conference. Jim, when she was talking about, he found all that information, it's like, when you go up in grandma's attic and you open up a box and it's all her diaries and stuff. Yeah, so that's what he found. And it was like, what do you do with it, right? I want to have that. I want to go in somebody's attic and find my ancestors.
Really? It's like, oh my gosh. That's why, I go around because I live in my ancestors where they walked and lived. I would love to go up to the houses instead of just taking pictures of them and go in there and ask the current owners if I can go up in the attic or down the basement, because maybe they didn't clean it all out. But hoping, but yeah, I got goosebumps when Kathryn, you were talking about what he found and how he went about to share that information or to tell about it. And then I hope, I would think too that you've got them about source citations and how he put that together.
Yep, that's part of the general genealogy stuff that's going to happen on the Sunday. Yeah. So and George Arsenault, when Kathryn talked about him receiving the Order of Canada, that's the highest civilian honor for a non-military, non-government person in Canada.
Wow,
I'm glad you pointed that out. I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so he got the Order of Canada. I think it was last year, right, Kath?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
2016.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Oh
my
impressive.
Gosh.
And then the Acadians, after they were expelled from Nova Scotia, a lot of them made their way down to Louisiana and are now Cajun. Right?
I remember that
a lot of the Cajuns have their early roots in Nova Scotia. We're everywhere.
Oh, I know if I could be there that Sunday afternoon, besides, talking to, people you meet or friends that, you get together, is I would love to go out to the pier, out to the port.
Yep. They have an immigration museum there, and honestly, it's phenomenal. So. Yeah.
Well, you'll have to let us know once the negotiations for either live streaming or recording. But if there's any live streaming and what that's all about, let us know so we can add that, somehow.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, is there, because of, social media and so forth, do you have a Facebook page or is there a hashtag?
Yes. Do you have a Facebook page, and we're also on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter. And then the hashtag is CanGen Summit 2017. Okay.
CanGen Summit 2017. Okay. Yeah. And the website for anyone to read up more about the summit and to register and everything, and to get a view of the speakers and topics again, you guys shout out the URL.
Chris, you want to yell it out?
Sure. It's CanGen Summit, all one word, .ca for Canada.
Okay. I've been at the website. It's very detailed, very well organized. Anything that you need to know about the CanGen Summit is there. It even has a section that talks more about Kathryn and Christine. So check that out, and please, by all means, get registered to meet that August 31st early bird. But in case you can't or you're not quite sure, you can register all the way up until when, ladies? When's the drop dead deadline?
September 30th.
September 30th. Okay. Now, does the conference include like a syllabus, either printed or on a flash drive or something?
What we did last year that worked out really nicely is we sent our attendees a link to a Dropbox, and they can download the electronic syllabus directly to their files. And we trusted that our attendees are not going to go and and share that, because they're the ones that are paying for it. It worked out great. And what was I know what I was going to tell you. So if you've been thinking about coming to the Great Canadian Genealogy Summit and you're thinking, should I, shouldn't I? I'm going to encourage people that if you want to save money, this coming weekend is the weekend to do it. And that's what I will say. It will a significant savings off the regular price of the full weekend registration. It's a holiday. In some parts, it's a weird holiday on
Depends
Monday
on
here in Canada, because not all the provinces celebrate it, and it's weird and unique and odd because depending on where you are, depends on what it's called. So, for instance, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, it's called Natal Day. Where I live, it's called the Civic Holiday. Chris, what's it called up where you are?
It's a civic holiday here.
Civic
it's
holiday.
to celebrate the civic workers, but
okay. In Toronto, it's called Simcoe Day.
Yes.
A couple different places. It's named after some of the founders of those particular places. And so we decided, we're excited because it's a holiday weekend in Canada. Well, most places in Canada. So we're going to have a sale. So
awesome.
Oh!
A special, whatever you want to call it, holiday, whatever you are, special.
Just say that out loud. Just give away our press release. What the heck? Can't trust this girl at all.
I'm excited about it.
I'm honored that you did that.
All the details. All the details, and I'm not going to say any more about it.
No, you're not.
I bet you if we go another couple minutes, she'll tell us.
Okay. All the details, though, are coming in Thursday. So watch our website Thursday.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Yes, I will. But thank you.
So this will be the deepest discounts you get because it'll be on the early bird special as opposed to on the full registration or on the regular registration once early bird's over. So watch.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, ladies. This is so cool. I mean, I'm honored that you had made that special holiday discount announcement here. It's like, oh, good. And once I see the link for the YouTube video to be up and stuff in the morning, and when Chris sees it or Kathryn will be out there to share it, please share it on Twitter and on your Facebook page. And if you'd like, if you can put it on the website, a link to it so they can hear about it too.
Absolutely, we will.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So, well, everyone, be sure to go. If you can't, like me, is like, oh my gosh, why not? Maybe we'll have to rearrange our plans. And drop everything and go. So I am so glad that we were able to chat about it, give out the information about CanGen Summit, because there's so many people that don't know. It's amazing to me wherever you go, it's like you haven't heard what. And so I'm really glad that you both were here. So thank you so much, Kathryn Lake Hogan.
Thank you, Val. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
And thank you, Christine Woodcock, for being here.
Thank you, Val. It was fun, as always.
And as always, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below in the comments area. We'll also have the CanGen Summit URL down below as well. If you want, you can send us a quick email at info@theinDepthGenealogist.com. Let me say that again. info@theinDepthGenealogist.com. genealogist.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and by all means, go in depth with all of your ancestors. Until next time, I bid you a fond farewell and goodbye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.